Bosch versus KitchenAid versus Miele. Which should you buy?
Certainly three of the most compared dishwasher brands out there. Let's start with Bosch.
Well, it really depends on the Bosch. Like, I'm not really keen on the 100 series, and I think that some people have pushed back on me, said it's decent. Okay, you step up to the 300 series, you're getting the full tank, the Rackmatic. Go to the 500 series, you're getting something that's actually quiet for an open kitchen at 44 decibels. But just for the purposes of this, I like Bosch from 500 series to the 800 series. Not the most expensive. That's one thing I think is in common. I don't think going up to the top of the line in any of these is something you need to do. That's the first thing. So in the lower under $1,000 prices, I actually like the KitchenAid the best. What do you think?
I agree, because the KitchenAid, it's super quiet at that lower price point too. They have a 39 decibel, which is really gonna be one of the quieter dishwashers that's out there. And really, when you're looking at, let's say, that KitchenAid versus the higher end KitchenAid, you don't really lose a lot. Like when you step up, and it's true with most brands, but with the KitchenAid, you have a little bit more adjustability. You have a little bit of a different style on the top rack on the higher end is gonna be a little bit different, but also the filter is very different. So when you go to the micro filter on the higher end KitchenAid, all the other dishwashers that we'll talk about today have that kind of standard filter. Take it out, depending on how often you use it, every 2, 3, 4 weeks, clean it out. Cool thing about the KitchenAid, it's that micro filter that really never needs to be taken out. Now, it's not a hard food disposer, but it will kind of eliminate any small particles of food there as well.
All right, so the difference between the two KitchenAids, because this is kind of confusing. It's confusing to me, and I've explained it 1,000 times. The cheaper one, which is now the 3 series, is quieter.
Correct.
The more expensive series has a bigger rack, more wash jets, better drying if you go up to the 600, and all the silverware jets, 4 levels of wash action, pro drying if you go to the 600. The 400 series is around 1,000. The 300 series is under 850. The more expensive one is noisier, but still under the quietness decibel. So you really got 2 good dishwashers. One is under 900, one is around $1,000. And I think they're better than the Bosch 100 and 300 series.
Yeah, and the noise level too, like really part of that is that filter as well, where it's kind of, again, not a hard food disposer, but does eliminate some of the particles that are left in there from when you're maybe not scraping great there. Biggest difference, I think, going back to the Bosch certainly, I think, as you step up from the 500 to the 800, is absolutely worth it.
At 500, the 500, you get quietness and you get a better drying system. It opens up at the end of the wash to speed drying. That's what it does in my Miele. It does a pretty good job of drying. When you go to the 800 series, you get that power control spray on.
The Crystal Dry.
And Crystal Dry. Crystal Dry is zeolite, which actually works incredibly.
Yeah.
It's a mineral that emits heat, absorbs moisture. So I think over 1,000, 1,500, I like the Bosch.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
And then you go from Bosch to the benchmark where you pick up water softening, which may or may not be good for you. And basically a light and different racks.
And the countdown timer on the floor versus a light, yeah.
The countdown timer, and that's $500 more.
Yeah.
So really where I like Miele is from like $1,500. I like their racks. I like their 3-level wash action. I like that it pops open at the end. What Miele does is simple. The 800 series Bosch is the best drying, but Miele is really close because they let air in at the bottom. So that hot steam air mixes with that cooler air. So it really dries well, and it popping it open does a good job on moisture. I think it's got the best wash action. I think their racks are best. And when you go over $2,000, then you get their dispenser, which once again actually works.
Yeah.
You can either load it up with the pods, or you can do their power discs. And the way the power disc works is it senses what's coming off the water, so it automatically adjusts the formula to what it is you're washing off. And as incredible as that seems, people report the cleanest dishes.
Yeah.
So really what I think, and a lot of it depends on, who's got the best service in the area that you're buying in, is KitchenAid is something you should look for under 1,000. 1,000 to 1,500 is Bosch. And anything 1,500 to 2,000 is Bosch or Miele. I happen to like Miele.
Definitely.
Anything 2,000 or more would be the Miele with the Autodose.
Yeah, Miele really, certainly and I would say that Miele is definitely worth it to step up to their 7,000 series. With some of the pricing adjustments there, it's not a huge jump really. It's a couple $100 now if you're going from kind of their 500 series or their 5,000 series to their 7,000 series. And certainly that's where you're going to get the power disc. You're going to get the good drying there. You also, if you have, any delicate glassware or china, again, anything that's a family heirloom, I would never put in any dishwasher. But anything that's delicate, Miele is going to do a really good job there on cleaning those and being that gentle wash as well.
Yeah, Miele's a really good dishwasher. Most reliable last year by 2 percentage points. Do you agree?
I definitely agree there for sure. And the one thing I always point out on Miele too, where it's a little different. So Miele, Bosch, definitely more European dishwashers, of course. Bosch is going to be, I always say it's kind of an Americanized European dishwasher. So the loading style is something that you're probably more similar to if you see a KitchenAid, but KitchenAid is going to be still, wider tines to fit larger cookware and things like that. Miele is a little different at first glance. So it may seem like it's a little bit tighter, kind of different to load, but when you really take the time and look how to load that Miele, it secures your plates probably better than any other dishwasher.
Especially the flatware,
Absolutely.
It secures it much better.
Yeah, so it does. The loading is really nice on a Miele. It just might take a little bit of getting used to if it's something you've never had before.
That's how we would buy KitchenAid, Miele, or Bosch. But once again, a lot of it depends on who can fix it the fastest in your area.
Absolutely.
That's the end of that comparison. If you like more ranking or versus types videos, click the like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.